fellow compounders. As I film this video, the market is in a turmoil. Inflation in the US is very high, and the Fed is raising rates trying to contain it. The question I've been getting a lot lately is, what should I invest in now? Let me tell you a secret. The best investment, no matter this market situation, is investing in improving yourself. I could tell you the stock that I'm buying right now, but instead, I'll give you something more valuable. In this video, I'm going to recommend 10 books that will help you improve your investment skills and allow you to answer that question yourself. Welcome to the Always Be Compounding Club, where we share ideas on how to build, grow, and enjoy wealth. I'm your host, Dennis Chen. I'm a full-time investor and CFA charter holder. Welcome aboard. So let's get started. Here are the 10 best investment books for beginners. We'll go in reverse order. Number 10, The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. This book is a classic. I read this book many years ago when I was in high school. The book started out as a series of pamphlets distributed by US banks and insurance companies between the years 1920 through 1924. The lessons were so good that the author compiled them into a book and published it in 1926. The three main ideas from the book are: A. Pay yourself first. Save 10% of your income by spending less than you earn. B. Use the power of compounding in your favor. And C. Invest with people who know what they're doing or that know their business. This book is short and easy to read. You could finish it in one sit down. Number 9, The Little Book of Common Sense Investing by John Bogle. This book was written by the father of the index fund, legendary investor Jack Bogle, the founder of Vanguard. His main idea is to invest in the market through low-cost index funds. Over the long term, you will earn higher returns than most active investors. It's that simple. This book makes a good argument for being a passive investor. Number 8, Stocks for the Long Run by Jeremy Siegel. This book is special to me because it was written by one of my favorite Wharton professors. I was in Professor Siegel's class when he first published this book in 1994. It's currently in its 5th edition. This book convinced me that investing in equities is the way to go. The main message of this book is that stocks outpace any other asset class and that you should be invested in equities, period. End of story. There is a lot of historical data in this book to prove this. It's fairly thick. He also uses real numbers, meaning that it's inflation adjusted. When I read this book, I realized the importance of thinking in real numbers. That is why here at the Always Be Compounding Club, we always take inflation into account. Number 7, Richer, Wiser, Happier by William Green. This is an investment philosophy book that I really enjoyed. It was published last year in 2021. It distills lessons from several contemporary investors about how to live a richer, wiser, and happier life. The chapters on Mohnish Pabrai, the guy who cloned Warren Buffett's investing style, and Tom Gaynor from Markel are my favorites. The book is an easy read and it's very interesting. Number 6, The Dando Investor by Mohnish Pabrai. This book is probably going to become a classic. It was published in 2007. Mohnish Pabrai is a hedge fund manager who cloned Warren Buffett's approach to investing. This book uses stories and an easy to follow language to show how he thinks and applies lessons from Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. His main theme in this book is heads I win, tails I don't lose much. It's short and an easy to read book. Number 5, The Warren Buffett Way by Robert Hagstrom. If you don't know who Warren Buffett is by now, subscribe to this channel and you'll learn about him. I guarantee it. Also, go ahead and read this book. The Warren Buffett Way does a great job of introducing you to Warren Buffett and his investment approach. This book was first published in 1994 when I was in MBA school. It was my introduction to Warren Buffett. It was the first time I have ever heard of him and Berkshire Hathaway. Number 4, The Little Book That Beats the Market by Joel Greenblatt. This little book is a gem. First published in 2006, Joel Greenblatt is a hedge fund manager and he teaches an investment class at Columbia University. It has everything you need to know about picking good stocks. It does a great job at explaining the concept of discounted cash flows. It's written in plain language with a sense of humor. It kept putting a smile on my face. It's a very short book and very understandable and easy read. Number 3, One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. This is a very special book for me. It was published in 1989. It was the first book that I read about stock investing. I read this book when I was a sophomore in college. It was written by Peter Lynch, the most successful mutual fund investor. He was the manager of Fidelity Magellan, which earned an average annualized return of 29.2% during his tenure. Even though the examples in this book are somewhat dated, The lessons stand the test of time. Peter Lynch writes with a great sense of humor. It's one of the best motivational books for stock investors that I've read. Its main theme is that you have many advantages over professional investors. The main advantage is investing in businesses that you know. Out of the top 10 book list, this is the one I suggest starting with. Number 2, The Essays of Warren Buffett, Lessons for Corporate America by Lawrence Cunningham. This is a curated compilation of Warren Buffett's letters to shareholders arranged by topic. This is the closest thing to a book written by Warren Buffett that we will get. Here you get to learn from the greatest investor of all time in his own words. By the way, the annual letters are available for free from Berkshire Hathaway's website. However, I prefer this book because it's arranged by topic. I think the most important lesson from Buffett's essays is the filter that he and Munger use to select investments. Here's a quote from the 1977 Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholder letter. We select our marketable equity securities in much the way we would evaluate a business for acquisition in its entirety. We want businesses to be A, one that we can understand, B, with favorable long-term prospects, C, operated by honest and competent people, and D, available at a very attractive price. And that's the secret of how Buffett picks stocks for Berkshire Hathaway. There are many more pearls of wisdom in this book. It's a must-read book for any investor. And finally, number 1, The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. This book started Warren Buffett on the path to becoming a multi-billionaire. It was written by Buffett's teacher and mentor, Benjamin Graham. Ben is considered to be the Dean of Wall Street. He was a professor at Columbia and a hedge fund manager. He was the guy that created the entire profession of business analyst and founded the CFA Institute. The main lessons that you'll find in this book are, number 1, when you buy a stock, you're really buying part of a business. Stocks are not just pieces of paper that you trade or numbers on your brokerage account. Number 2, understand Mr. Market and use his mood swings to your advantage. Mr. Market is a manic depressive fellow and will at times offer to buy or sell stock at prices that are super high when he's overly optimistic. And other times he will offer prices that are ridiculously low when he's depressed. And number 3, always invest with a margin of safety. This book is a classic. Everyone who's serious about investing must read this book, or at least chapters 8 and 20 as suggested by Buffett. I must confess, this book might be challenging for beginners. So don't start with this one. Start with One Up on Wall Street or The Little Book That Beats the Market to get warmed up first. So there you have it, the 10 best investment books I recommend for beginning investors. Every serious investor should have read these books at least once. By the way, if you haven't already, I suggest you watch my video on 8 ground rules of millionaires. Here's the link. Thanks for watching, have a great day, and remember to always be compounding. See you in the next video. Take care.